The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
As Jesus got into a boat, his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a violent storm came up on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by waves, but he was asleep. They came and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." He said to them, "Why are you terrified, O you of little faith?" Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was great calm. The men were amazed and said, "What sort of man is this, whom even the winds and the sea obey?" The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Mayong udto kinatong tanan. Upon hearing the Gospel today, as well as the very situation in which the story relates to us, somehow we could readily relate and associate at the end of the situation of the disciples, wherein they were engulfed and terrified by fear because of the storm. This kind of experience we are actually experiencing today. We can relate this feeling of being and almost perishing due to the very difficult situations that we are in. And we are also engulfed and trembling in fear. Kinsa ba kahay dili malisang og mahadlok sa atong sitwasyon karon? Usa ra gyud siguro'y wa nalisang ang virus sa gyud. And no one is spared, rich and poor alike, the powerful and the powerless. No one is spared of these atrocities of what the virus can do to us. And yet, our fears in our hearts and almost despair spring about our uncertainties. We are uncertain whether if good times will still be visible at the end of this tunnel. We are uncertain of when these things be defeated, as if the only victor is defeat. And yet what the Lord is trying to tell us in our gospel today, He is not accounting the disciples' human effort to combat their fear. Jesus did not say that you have less of your human effort. You failed in your cooperation of what your human nature can do. But what the Lord is accounting here is something beyond our capacity of doing. That it starts as a gift, and therefore the Lord is accounting the disciples' faith. And even by taunting them, "Oh, you little faith, why are you terrified?" Somehow we go back to this very basic element of our being, the gift of faith that God has given to us, because it is the only thing that can clear the skies, that can clear the fog of the storm, so that instead of being uncertain, we are certain that there is the goodness of God. Even it seems that Jesus is sleeping, but He is always there. He is just there. Even as if that the Lord placed deaf and mute and blind, but with the assurance that He is there. He is with this one boat traveling, being tossed by the winds. We only have to believe. We continue to believe. We continue to cling on our faith so that despair may not engulf us. We continue to trust and we continue to believe so that we can still move on instead of being paralyzed by our fears and our despair. And that is a very good news for all of us. Now in the situation of the pandemic, instead of wanting to perish, instead of being engulfed with much fear, we ask ourselves, do we still have that strong faith to move on, to continue the fight? Do we still have that faith in the goodness of the Lord, knowing that He is with us in one boat, knowing that He is never actually asleep, but He is always accompanying us, journeying with us in this moment of trials, in the storms of our life? We only have to say to Him, we believe in You.